Well, hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow pipe smokers. This is the country gentleman coming at you. And I hope all of you guys are having an absolutely fantastic, great weekend. I'm over here at the sister in law's watching her four mini Australian shepherds. And I'll tell you, man, they are some high strung dogs. They are hyperactive and they're very attentive. They need lots of attention and things of that nature, but they're really, really good dogs. And I'll throw some pictures in of them for you guys at the end of the video. But she went down to Chicago for the weekend, which is good for her. I'm glad that she's getting out of the house. But I'm out here in the garage, and yes, I got permission to smoke in the garage. But I'm smoking some Carter Hall that was gifted to me by a dear friend of mine, John, all briared up here on YTPC. So thank you very much, John. At first, I really didn't like Carter Hall, but it's growing on me. And I'm smoking it in this little bitty pipe that I got from an antique store a few months back. And it was in pretty rough condition when I got it. The vulcanite stem had a lot of oxidation on it. It had really bad chatter marks up here at the mouthpiece. The bowl was in pretty bad condition, and it was even missing the little dot indicator on the pipe as well. So I sanded down the entire pipe, the the actual briar and the vulcanite, sanded it from 220 grit all the way up to 4000, and then of course buffed it out and polished it out. But I stained it with a nice mahogany stain to kind of give it some contrast. The pipe, I don't think it really had a stain on it when I first got it. If it did, it had like a light orange stain, but I think it was just primarily just the natural briar. And then I filled in the little dot with some epoxy and turquoise powder. And it's just a little basket pipe. I think I paid $29 for it. But I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I want to say it's from either the late 60s or the early 70s. But it had a screw-in metal tenon with a stinger that was molded to it. And I'm surprised I could smoke out of the pipe at all when I first got it. I cut off the stinger, and the hole for the air draft was like the size of a pinhole. It was tiny. So I drilled out the bottom of the metal tenon, opened up the airway, and now it smokes pretty good. It's turning out to be a good little pipe. I think it'll be one of my pipes I'll smoke in the shop. It's nice and light. Good little 25-minute smoker. But since I'm here, there's something I wanted to show you guys that I made for my older brother before he passed. He passed about a year ago. But him and his wife have, or had, she remodeled the house. But their living room was Native American and New Mexican style decorations and artwork in their living room. and he wanted me to make him a Native American peace pipe. So I did, and I thought I would share the pipe with you guys, let y'all see it. So I'll grab that and I'll show you guys. Alrighty guys, so here is the pipe. And I will be sure to take pictures of it for you guys. But it has real turkey feathers on it. And the central part of the turkey feather decoration is mounted on a half circle of black walnut that I then wood burned a sun design into it just to kind of give it that more Native American art style. But it also has genuine buffalo hair hide on either side and the middle of the pipe, with buffalo hide sewed on and wrapped around the wood oak shank that I turned on the lathe for it. It has these nice nice leather bands wrapped around it, and these pretty wooden and turquoise bead decorations on it. And the bowl is carved from Kettleite. And if you do not know what Kettleite is, it is a mudstone that is formed from highly compressed clay, but this is also known as sacred Native American red pipestone. This is the stone that the Native Americans have been using for thousands of years to make their pipes and their ceremonial pipes. The interesting thing about this stone is only the Native Americans are allowed to mine, sell, and distribute this type of stone. So I had to go online to a Native American website to buy a block of Kettleite, and it's pretty expensive, but if you can find some, it's pretty hard to find too, but if you can find some, I'd highly recommend trying to make a pipe from this stone. It makes very, very beautiful pipes, and it's surprisingly very easy to work with. You don't need any kind of special machinery or equipment to work with this stone. I made this bowl using nothing but a bandsaw, sandpaper, files, and a Dremel. But I bought it was just a big block of stone, and then I traced on the eagle design that I wanted, and then cut it into a T shape on my bandsaw, and then drilled out the chamber and airway on my drill press. And it will definitely ruin your bandsaw blade, so be mindful of that. I'm sure you can use hand saws. Hand saws will probably work on it too. It cuts really, really easily. But then I just traced out the eagle's head that I wanted on the pipe, and then used little Dremel bits and sandpaper to carve out the head. Yeah, one thing I do want to let you guys know, the only thing that's not genuine on this pipe is the turquoise. When I bought the turquoise, the company said that it was legitimate turquoise, and it turned out to be howlite. And howlite is a stone that's quite similar to turquoise. It has the same black and gold stream-like patterns that turquoise has, but it's white. And what they'll do is they will stain the howlite blue to mimic turquoise. And you really have to be careful about this when you're buying turquoise.
if you're buying turquoise beads or turquoise jewelry or anything of that nature, a lot of companies will tell you that it is genuine turquoise, but they'll actually be selling you howlite. And one reason for that is because turquoise is becoming very, very rare, and it's also very highly sought after. It's in very high demand. So a lot of your companies now make fake turquoise and try to pass it off as real turquoise. So definitely, if you ever buy turquoise jewelry, be sure to ask them, where did the turquoise come from? What mine did the turquoise come from? And if they can't tell you where the turquoise was sourced, then I would not recommend buying it, because they should always know where that turquoise is sourced, so you don't end up with fake turquoise. But it's still really pretty. I really like the look of it on this pipe. And I think this pipe took me about 6 months to make. It took me a lot of time to work on this pipe. Of course, I didn't spend a solid 6 months working on it. I probably actually have about 4 months worth of actual work in this pipe, but it definitely took me a long time to make it. It was a lot of trial and error. I've never done leather work or bead work or stone work, so it was a lot of trial and error to make this pipe, but I'm glad it came out the way that it did. My older brother, he absolutely loved this pipe, and this pipe has a lot of sentimental, my bad, sorry guys, a lot of sentimental value to me. The last time I was over here at my brother's house before he passed, we took it off the wall and he wanted to smoke it. And it's a fully functional pipe. It smokes really, really well, nice and cool. But we took it out on his back porch and we both smoked it and just kind of bullshit a little bit. But I think we smoked early morning out of the pipe, and it was a good time. The only thing I think that I would have done different on this pipe, I wish I made the mouthpiece a little longer, because when you're smoking the pipe, you basically got a big hairball in your face. So I definitely do want to make some more of these pipes, and one of my uncles even wants one of these, but they're pretty expensive to make. I think I spent $450 on all the material to make this pipe, so it definitely was not cheap to make, but it definitely turned out really, really nice, and I'm very grateful to my older brother for letting me make this pipe for him, and I'm glad that he enjoyed it while he could. But yeah guys, I just wanted to show you the pipe. And so yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so very much for joining me tonight. God bless. May you all have a fantastic weekend and week. This has been the Country Gentleman, and signing off. Bye bye.
You guys, calm down. Alrighty, so there's Biz Ping. Oh, that one's Moo Moo. There's Little Pearl. She's the cutest, yes. And then there goes Bella. Bella. Hey, Belle Belle.